Which people brought down the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century? The Germanic peoples. In what year was Persepolis burned and reduced to ruins? Year 330 BC. What was the harsh training system used in ancient Sparta to raise children to be strong? Agoge training. Why did Socrates stand trial? Because he was accused of confusing and corrupting the youth. For what is Tutankhamun's tomb famous? The discovery of a great number of artifacts. Why did the Babylonians observe the sky? To predict farming conditions and seasonal changes. Who was the father of Alexander the Great? Philip II. What war did Darius I wage to expand the western part of the Persian Empire? The Greco-Persian Wars. What were the main factors that supported Rome's early economic structure during the Roman Kingdom period? Agriculture and trade. In the Assyrian administrative system, who governed the provinces? Governors. During World War II, which Soviet victory became the turning point on the Eastern Front? The Battle of Stalingrad. Which pharaoh in ancient Egypt worshipped the sole god Aten and moved the capital? Akhenaten. In Sparta, what were the state-owned serfs called? The Helots. From which country did the exodus led by Moses in ancient Israel signify an escape? Egypt. What was the relationship called when lords entered into contracts with one another as equals? A horizontal feudal relationship. What was the capital of Macedonia when Alexander was a prince? Pella. What was the name of Nazi Germany's policy of exterminating the Jews during World War II? The Holocaust. In which year did the Roman Republic end and the imperial system begin? (27 BC). Why was Carthage unable to provide sufficient support while Hannibal was attacking Rome? Political division and lack of finances. What special animals did Hannibal mobilize when he attacked Rome? War elephants. Why was the Minoan civilization so powerful in maritime trade? Because of its sea trade and strong fleet. Approximately how many ships did the Greek fleet have at the Battle of Salamis? About 300 ships. What was the name of the treaty that laid the foundation for the creation of the European Union, EU, in 1993? The Maastricht Treaty. Which ancient Greek sculptor created the statue of Zeus and worked on the Parthenon sculptures? Phidias. Which British Romantic poet supported the Greek War of Independence? Lord Byron. Why did the Delian League turn into something like an Athenian empire? Monopoly over taxes. What was the oldest writing system used in the Sumerian civilization? Cuneiform script. Exactly in what year was the Emancipation Proclamation issued in the United States? Year 1863. What was the main cause of the conflict between capitalists and workers during the Industrial Revolution? An unequal distribution of profits. In Hinduism, what is the final state reached by repeatedly undergoing rebirth and karma until enlightenment is attained? Liberation, or moksha. Among the influences the Minoan civilization had on surrounding regions, what did the Mycenaean civilization inherit? A palace-centered economic system. What was the charter signed by King John of England in 1215 guaranteeing the rights of the nobles? Magna Carta. What was the battle in 732 in which the Frankish kingdom halted the advance of Islamic forces into Western Europe? The Battle of Tours and Poitiers. What did Hannibal choose to do to avoid being captured by Rome? He took poison and committed suicide. Where did the Persian army land in the Battle of Marathon? The Plain of Marathon. What was the place established in Athens for citizens to read books freely? Public library. Which state captured Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire? Ottoman Empire. Which queen defeated the Spanish Armada and secured English naval supremacy? Elizabeth I. In the Renaissance, how was nature viewed differently from in the Middle Ages? As an object to be investigated. What was the name of the French count who revived the modern Olympic Games? Pierre de Coubertin. Thank you for watching until the end. We'd love to hear your feedback and historical insights in the comments. Your support helps us create even more history quizzes. Let's keep exploring together.